And we live with it, man. Welcome to the Cold Truth Podcast, where we tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and don't care how you feel about it. I am your host, White Boy Chris, and I guess we got a few things to talk about today. Uh, I ain't gonna jump right into it. We gonna just jump into kind of what's just going on around the World Wide Web right now, or I guess I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I guess we can get into it since it's kind of been making go ahead and make a banner for us. It's kind of just like I said, I wasn't planning on talking about it, but it kind of just came up today, so might as well. Why not? So for y'all that don't know, Michael Orr pretty much filed with the Tennessee court over the movie The Blind Side that came out in 2009, and I'm gonna just go over a little bit of the details real quick that I'm pretty sure everybody has seen, and then we're gonna dive right into it. Let me see. I had this pulled up on my phone just so I could read this off of y'all. Okay, so pretty much he went to court, and there are allegations that Sean and Leanne Tui never actually adopted him, but instead tricked him into making them his conservators. Pretty much, they tricked him into signing the contract that, or I guess they tricked him into signing the contract that pretty much allowed them to use his name, image, and likeness in other way, pretty much any way they wanted to. They also claimed that Tui's ended up cheating them out of any film payments through the Oscar winning film, and he has sued pretty much. I don't remember if they said an exact amount of money that he wants for that money that they made off the film, but he did say that he wanted to be paid a fair amount for the money that they made off of that film. So again, they said that he was never officially adopted. They used their powers to strike a deal that paid them and their two actual children millions of dollars in royalties from The Blind Side that made over 300 million at the box office worldwide. The football player Michael Orr says he saw no money from that movie, and the lie of his adoption is one upon which co-conservators Leanne Tui and Sean Tui have enriched themselves at the expense of their ward. The undersigned Michael Orr, the legal filing says, and he discovered this, and I think this was originally done in February 2023 as far as like he actually was doing something about it, but we're just now, I think, hearing about it because it's just not going to court. So there was already skepticism, I want to say, a while ago, whenever I can't, and I don't even remember how he got brought up because again, he's been retired for some time now. But there had been some skepticism about this years ago about it might be some collusion or tomfoolery going on with this whole situation, but nobody ever really dove deep into it. And I think we kind of all bought into it because it sounded like the little perfect fairy tale story. I've seen the movie. I like the movie, but the fact of the matter that I didn't know that he didn't see anything from it, but I did know what I did know is that around the time the movie was released, he did have stuff to say as far as like I guess I had the word on the accuracy of the movie as far as depicting of what happened and him not having no say so. Now that part I do remember, but as far as the actual adoption and everything not being true, none of that was ever really said until recently. So I'm kind of really wondering how much. I mean, you can find out if somebody was really adopted or not. I mean, it's paperwork that has to be filed. So that much you could probably find with public records. But now it's kind of like, was that whole movie? I mean, of course, if he wasn't adopted, the whole movie was a fluke at that point. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this pop culture. Like I said, I didn't plan on talking about this, but but yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments as far as this Michael Orr situation. Because in all due honesty, I mean, y'all call me what you want. It's, I mean, not on his end because I'm pretty sure he's got the right legal people, but it's pretty fucking funny just with the whole black and white and shit. Like they tricked this nigga into signing a contract to get all his royalties and didn't give him shit and thought that they wasn't gonna get caught. That is wild. That is crazy. He may not have been no big time, player, nothing like that. But if I'm not mistaken, the boy is a Super Bowl champion and shit. He may not have been big as far as like who we talk about, like quarterbacks and other skill positions, but that paycheck is big enough to where if he was really ready to dig deep into this, oh, say man, I don't know if they really were ready for the lawsuit they finna have to go through. I mean, I'm pretty sure with all the royalties they got paid, they should be, but we'll see, man. But word around town, man. So I guess we got to start off with because I talked about this kind of heavy last time, or I talked about him more or less, and that is Cowboys offensive lineman Zach Martin, right? So what the hell is this? I'm sorry, I was on my way to show y'all this, but y'all know how I'm feeling. But I just got sidetracked looking for this news, man. But yeah, so Cowboys offensive tackle Zach Martin finally got his bag that he was holding out for. For anybody that missed it, he pretty much was holding out till he got a new deal because of where he kind of sat on as far as the you know highest paid offensive tackles. I mean, I'm sorry, offensive lineman at the guard position. Um, he really wasn't high in the ranks. So he was kind of looking at value as far as what he's being compensated. Now, mind you, I was just upset because he signed a contract. I want to say it was 4 years ago. He still got 2 years left on his deal. So yeah, man. I mean, but he got what he wanted. But so the updated contract is that so he now is making about for these next 2 years, he's gonna be making a little bit over $18 million a year, right? So he was originally supposed to make 13.5 million this year and 14 million next year. So he had gotten a raise of about, let's see, probably about $8.5 million if my math was right off the top of my head. So overall, he got a raise of $8.5 million, and on top of that, both of these final 2 years of his contract have been fully guaranteed. So, so he got his bag. I mean, I still don't like how he went about it. I mean, I understand, at this in the concept, if he wouldn't have said nothing, he wouldn't have got paid. But it's one thing if you want to get paid, man. Hey man, go to your GM and go talk to him. I don't like the fact of all these players just I'm gonna hold out till I get my money. Like why we can't have just a conversation about some because he got fined, so in the process of this, he's losing money. And I guess it don't mean nothing in the long run considering everything that he's made. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of leaving nothing on the table. So I mean, of course, it ain't like he's gonna need to practice. We know he's an all pro. We know he's gonna be able to catch on. We know what that line is when he is not there. But again, I just don't agree with the way that some of these players go about trying to hold out if they don't get their money, especially depending on the caliber of the player. Is Zach Martin the caliber of a player? Yeah. But there are some players out there before that have, threatened holding out, and the team just like, all right, fuck it, hold out. We don't care. I mean, the Cowboys have been, known as of late to kind of go ahead and crack and pay their players. I mean, the last one I could just think of is Zeke. They had everything going on with Dak. I mean, he signed the tag, but they inevitably got his deal done, and now this is just the newest player as of late. So, but yeah, so Zach Martin got his deal. Ezekiel Elliott Everybody was wondering where he was going to land. I really do feel like that the Patriots is one of the better spots for him. Now I know everybody was kind of looking like, oh, why is he going there? They got Ramondre Stevenson. Well, the Patriots love running backs, and they love cheap veteran players, and Ezekiel Elliott fits right into that category. So Bill Belichick, he has him an experienced vet in the backfield along with Ramondre Stevenson. He can definitely take some of those third and short, goal line situation roles because we kind of see that's kind of the back that Zeke is now. I mean, maybe he has a maybe he'll have a different burst of energy or a different outlook on life with the move. I don't know. I mean, maybe just the pressure of being in Dallas was too much for him, and he ain't gonna get talked about nowhere near as much now in New England. But yeah, it was the perfect fit. I mean, like I said, it ain't nowhere where he's gonna be. I mean, he wasn't gonna go anywhere where he's gonna be looked at as number one back. Not at this point in his career, anyway. I don't. He's way past that. He ain't no number one back no more. He's still a good, back. In a system where they use a two different backs pretty much. And like I said, Zeke is definitely one of them that because I was just looking at some scouting where they was like, why this is a perfect situation for Zeke because they were saying that Ramondre Stevenson mainly does his damage on the outside. So again, when you need them hard, tough to get yards that you want to get on the inside, Zeke is the perfect fit for that. Especially you want to do a two back system. Perfect. I ain't really got nothing bad to say about it. I mean, we kind of knew that Zeke was kind of on the decline. We know what he once was. Nobody's taking that away from him, but we got to live in the present. Everybody knows that this is a "what have you done for me lately" type of league. What have you done for me lately? So, yeah, Zeke finally got signed. Dalvin Cook finally found his home with the New York Jets. I think we all kind of seen the writing on the wall. I think they was really just trying to figure. Oh Zeke does bring a lot more than just a run. He can block, and I really think that's going to be the thing that people are going to overlook, especially when you got Mac Jones that's trying to, rebound after that bad year he had last year. He finally got an offensive coordinator. He also had, any veteran leadership that you can have around your quarterback. I feel like, I'm not going to sit here and shit on Zeke like he ain't been in the league a long time and he's seen, a lot of things in this league. So I really do feel like Mac Jones is going to benefit from having him back there. So yeah, but you know, back to Dalvin Cook. He finally found him a home with the Jets. We kind of seen this coming. I mean, hey, he had pretty much spent the whole entire practice with the team. I really just think it was all about the numbers. I mean, that's really what this comes down to when we see these type of things take as long as they do. But I mean, it's kind of like just not even a mid level. It's kind of just like a basic running back contract right now. But he pretty much got a 1 year deal worth up to $8.6 million. I don't. I haven't really looked at the details about it yet, but I do know that he's actually not going to be practicing right now because he's still coming back from that shoulder injury. So he's still nursing a shoulder injury, but I feel like this is a good move for the Jets and the simple fact of that. I mean, again, you have another. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Right now, these running backs aren't really going for too much of nothing. So you have an experienced veteran running back that's been giving you pretty much 1,000 yards the past, I want to say, 4 years. I mean, yeah, he gets dinged up, but hey, man, he still getting you over 1,000 yards. So just looking at it like that, I don't think you can really overlook that. We all know what Dalvin Cook brings to the table, and right now, with what we're hearing with the New York Jets and their offensive line, especially just from the tackle standpoint, I really think that Dalvin Cook's going to help them open up a few things. It's going to help them to where that it's going to make it harder to kind of just solely focus on taking out their pass game because I feel like right now their run game was kind of up in the air just because of the simple fact, they talking about Dalvin Cook and possibly signing him. So you have that in the air that nobody was talking about. And then what I also feel like it does is that it gives them running back that they already had drafted in Brees Hall. I feel like it gives him a little time to recover. As we know, he had that serious injury that pretty much took him out of the game for the season. So when you just look at Dalvin Cook, I mean, he should be ready by week one, from that shoulder injury. But he'll definitely give Brees Hall a chance to ramp up and get back to 100% over time without putting so much strain on himself. Because I think a lot of times what we see is that these players, they try to come back and just try to hit the ground running, where you got to kind of ease back into it, get yourself a rep count, kind of, get get yourself to trust in your body again. I mean, I myself personally haven't had I mean, from the times that I've just played or did anything, I played in high school, but I've never had anything that just took me out long enough to where I had to get back to trusting my body again. I mean, the most that I've had is just, a really bad ankle sprain that kind of took me away from doing stuff for a week. But it was like, once I got motion back in my foot, I was back at it. I was back at it. So Dalvin Cook, I feel like is a big pickup. Again, and you got another vet around Aaron. Got another vet around these young dudes. I feel like vets, having some vets, in certain locker rooms is a real good addition to a team, especially when you look at their division and look at the expectations placed on them. I think you need all the help you can get in that locker room right now, man. So shout out to Dalvin Cook and the Jets. And this is just a little sprinkle of my 2 cents, my Ravens fandom. Of course, nobody's probably been talking about this dude or heard about this dude or nothing in the off season. But I touched on this, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, that J.K. Dobbins for the Baltimore Ravens, they say that he's been removed from the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list. And with that, you got a lot of people speculating that there might be a contract extension in place. He was one of those running backs that when the reports came out as far as them thinking about faking an injury until they got paid, he's literally the only one that's kind of went about actually doing it. Everyone else is kind of either signed to say the franchise tag and they're going to play on it, like Tony Pollard. We saw what Saquon did. I mean, it's not necessarily a franchise tag anymore; it's an actual contract. But I mean, it's not really too much more than what he was going to get from the franchise tag, and then because it's still a 1-year deal, and yeah. So me personally, and I've been so sensitive about this subject and it's not just him, it's just me talking about these players, because he was one of those ones that was kind of like disrespectful to try to sit there and hold out or act like he was injured because he didn't want to get paid. And I hate to do this to one of my own, but we got to be fair and we got to be, we can't show any bias on here. So I'm gonna pull this up because some of these players be getting real out of pocket, man. Very out of pocket. So let me go ahead and just share this real quick. So J.K. Dobbins again, well, like I just said, threatening with a holdout. I don't understand how you can threaten with a holdout when a team has stuck by you. You were drafted in the second round of the 2020 draft, right? Look at this. Do you notice the gap? He played 15 games in 2021. I'm sorry, in 2020. 0 in 2021. You notice how that year is missing? Does anybody notice and then missed another half of a season to have a cleanup done on his knee? Some of you boys is getting real disrespectful with some of these holdouts that y'all trying to go for, man. You have been on my salary, on my roster for 3 years, and you've played half of that. If this dude was in the NBA, we would be killing him right now for begging for a contract. When you have 1 year left on your deal, when you just got through showing me half a season. The numbers look good, but can you show me more? Can you show me that you can stay healthy? I don't think that's too much to ask. If you show that you can stay on the field, you're going to get paid. Whether it's by your team or it's by somebody else, you're going to get paid. This is what I be talking about with some of these dudes holding out. Like something like how some of it I'll concede with, but this right here is disturbing for you to try to threaten a holdout when I haven't seen you in a year and a half and I only got you for 8 games last year, man. Now, come on, bro. That's that right there. And then you only gave me 2 touchdowns in 8 games. As a running back, I'm sorry. I don't know. Am I asking for too much? Maybe. But 2 in 8 games as a running back, I don't know. 3 or 4 at least. I don't give a damn if Baltimore do got multiple. I don't give a damn. If you trying to be the man like that with the money that you demanding, I need to see more than that. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn. Y'all can say what y'all want to about me. Some of these dudes got to get held accountable. We need to stop letting these dudes skate because this is what's gonna happen, bro. And I'm not even talking about just happening from the running back position. This is what's going to start happening. You know what you do? Oh, well, it's after my 3rd year. I need a contract. Nah, bro. Look at this right here. We need to see a little bit more before we start pulling out a paycheck. They pull out their paycheck and then what? Because guess what? You get this contract, you don't think they're gonna have an injury clause in your contract to where if you get hurt, that means they're gonna be able to keep some of their money. You don't think they're gonna have that in your contract? Because it's there. I can guarantee you it's gonna be there. I mean, I'm glad you were off the physical, the pup list, but say, bro, we got to start being realistic. That right there is disrespectful. Disrespectful. So I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. But I am not okay with that shit. That shit is not cool with me. These dudes doing way too much crime by not getting paid. But everybody become like, oh, Chris, you done it up. Like, nah, man. All of y'all too busy. Y'all want to. I mean, I look at it from both sides. If a team is clearly the wrong day in the wrong, but come on, man, y'all talking about a dude that's only played half of his 3-year career. Yeah, it's a small sample size, but we got to call it for what it is. If he was in the NBA, we'd be killing him. We just killed Cade Cunningham not too long ago on this same podcast because he wasn't able to. He ain't showed us nothing. But we ain't saying nothing about these dudes, man. I mean, maybe that's why I didn't make no news. Nobody's really talking about it like that. You heard them more talking about the Saquons, the Josh Jacobs of the world. But for this to even be, I mean, for the ones that closely follow the Ravens, for this to even be a thing is just, I'm sorry. It's disgusting. It is very disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I feel like we are slowly getting into we finna feel, the shit that what the NBA going through with this player empowerment. I don't think it's gonna be as bad, but it's definitely, I don't know. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this, man. So this is kind of my title for this. James Harden has turned on longtime GM Daryl Morey. So, for y'all that may not have heard, there's a clip going around of James Harden talking about he'll never trust Daryl Morey. He's a liar and all this. I'm gonna just go ahead and just try to play the audio so y'all can hear it. But and then I'll kind of give my 2 cents on it. And then y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. But this is Daryl Morey. James Harden speaking on his longtime GM Daryl Morey. So we're gonna just give it a play. And y'all let me know what y'all think once we start diving into it. Okay, where's my clip? There we go. So I don't know if y'all caught that, but pretty much the lump sum. He said Daryl Morey is a liar and he will never be part of an organization that he's part of again. The James Harden saga continues. So, for y'all that don't know, Daryl Morey was pretty much the GM of the Houston Rockets for I want to say he was there pretty much for the majority of the time that James Harden was in Houston, right? And when I tell you that James Harden pretty much saw most of his success under Daryl Morey from his time in Houston, you know, I want to say that's when he got his MVP, his scoring titles. Uh, Pretty much is when he made his All NBA teams. Uh, I mean, that's when he got his MVP. I believe that's when he got. I believe that's when he got one of his assist titles. He's had a lot of success under Daryl Morey, right? So the reason why that this is coming up is because if y'all have been keeping up, we all know that James Harden had pretty much took less money, I want to say, last year, so that the Philadelphia 76ers could help build around that team so they can get further into the playoffs. Of course, if y'all remember in recent memory, they recently lost to the Celtics in the second round of the playoffs. I believe they took them to 7 games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, took them to 7 games. But we saw James Harden pretty much his playoff numbers as far as the average wasn't bad. He averaged 20 points in the playoffs, 8.3 assists, and six rebounds. But he shot 37% from three, but he shot 40%, 39% from the field. So that's pretty much his shooting from the field. We kind of know James Harden, his numbers kind of dip in the playoffs. That's nothing new. But this is just the problem that I have, you know. So apparently what was said was that people are telling me that Daryl Morey promised James Harden that he would get him traded, right? That he would get him traded where he wanted to go, get him a contract he wanted, and all that, yada, yada, yada. I don't like the fact that he just automatically calls him a liar after one off season of not being able to get him moved. I want players to start taking accountability for themselves, man. And James Harden is kind of one of them where it's like you got to kind of put him in that category. Because ever since this Houston experiment, the long time he got to a Western Conference Finals, never got over the hump. People like me felt like he should have got that team at least to one NBA Finals. But all of his success he had experienced was because of Daryl Morey, right? So now that he's kind of going towards the tail end, I mean, let's just call it what it is. I don't blame Daryl Morey for not being able to get a deal done with James Harden. And the reason why I don't is because I personally feel like that he ruined his own trade value. If you really watched James Harden in the playoffs, that's the only thing that kills his trade value. We'll take, the 20 points and all the assists you give us in the regular season, but just like when we was talking about you in Houston, you take a step back instead of a step forward. You drop off in the playoffs. And we've seen this way too many times. We'll see flashes because every time I bring that up, they're like, oh, what about the 240-point games? Okay, but what about the other games that he played? Where's the consistency? And then why can't you still come with this same amount of energy in different ways whenever whenever your best player Joel Embiid is on the floor? Like, I feel like that is an issue that nobody really wants to talk about. Like, that is a glaring issue that for whatever reason nobody wants to talk about, right? So we see right here, he had a 45-point game against Boston in game one, in which they took the win. He had another 42-point game against Boston, in which they took the win. In all of their losses, he scored 12, 16, 13, and 9. And we can even just look at the field goal percentage in their losses. 14%, 21%, 25%, 27%. And that's from the field. That's not from the free throw line. That's from the field. I mean, ouch. So y'all don't think I'm capping. That's from the field. In those wins in that series against Boston, I'm sorry, the losses, 14, 21, 25, and 27. That's from the field. And from 3, 0%, 0 for 6, 28%, 2 for 7, 0%, 0 from 6, 20%, 1 for 5. If I can look this up online on Basketball Reference, do you not think that these GMs can easily pull up the same thing? And they can pull up even deeper tape. Yeah, they got tape that I could pay for, but I ain't that deeply rooted into it. But when you can simply just go online and pull up your stats, this will tell you why nobody is running to like, because even in the Brooklyn series, 23%, 22%. You won because it was Brooklyn. And that's from the field. That's not from 3. That's from the field. So I don't feel like it is fair for him to put this all on Daryl Morey. When are we going to start looking at some of these players and like, okay, bro, what did you do? Now, I'm not for sure if all these promises was made that everybody was saying happened, but I'm like, say, bro, what do you think somebody's going to offer up for this? What are they going to give for this? What are they going? What do you have? How can you defend this? You can't. You can't defend it. Then everybody was saying, "Oh well, Daryl Morey told him." Like, man, at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. That nigga James Harden, a grown ass man. Everybody talking about, oh, he told him to do the. Can't no grown ass man make you do nothing you don't want to do. If he really wanted to go somewhere and go where he really wanted to go, he could have opted out, man. He would have been a free agent. A free agent. Which means he could have went wherever he wanted to go. Let's just keep it a buck. We know why he stayed. We know why he stayed. It ain't hard to figure out. Y'all think he getting that type of money anywhere else? Y'all really think he getting that money somewhere else? This man getting almost $36 million from opting in. We saw what Russell Westbrook just took. Had us shocked. Russ may turn the ball over, but I feel like he's a lot better fit for the Clippers than what James Harden is for the Sixers, at least in the playoffs that I saw. So we got to stop this, man. We got to start holding some of these players accountable. We got to go back to them numbers, man. You can't make this up. Go back to these numbers. Disgusting. And look at that. Minus 24. Minus 34. Come on, man. We got to start putting this stuff into context. Nigga was terrible. He was good in them 2 games. I don't know. I ain't one of these people. I mean, I try to stay biased. I try to be fair. But the one thing I ain't going to do, I ain't giving no nigga no passes, man. James Harden made it hard to trade him. Because what was the rumors we was hearing? The Clippers. So he going to go back with Russ? You think Kawhi and PG gonna be able to hold up for a whole playoff series or playoff run? I don't know, man. I think a lot of people need to start, we gotta start holding these players accountable. Because when you don't, they start talking crazy just like this nigga. Trying to blame a GM when your play on the court would have made it easy. Even in a loss. Would have made it easy to trade you, man. But that shit right there, how do you as a general manager respond to another general manager trying to offer you cookies and Subway sandwiches and you want something big? Look at this, man. What are you going to do with that? Yeah, you can give me the regular season numbers, but I don't live for the regular season. I'm trying to play in April. I'm trying to be playing in June. So I don't know, man. I'm not giving James Harden no pass. Y'all can give him a pass and be like, oh, well, Daryl Morey promised him this, promised him that. Man, we've been talking about this nigga James Harden bouncing around from these going from team to team just as much as we've been talking about Kevin Durant, man. We've been talking about James Harden jumping around just as bad as Kevin Durant, man. We got to go ahead and just call it what it is. Shit, Harden looked fat every offseason. Harden looks fat every offseason, bro. That ain't nothing new. So again, he's killing his own value. I ain't going for these niggas talking about, oh, it's Daryl Morey's fault. Oh, Daryl Morey promised he was gonna get moved. Well, guess what? Daryl Morey would have been able to keep up on his promise if he didn't lead his bullshit in black and white. I bet you he would have been able to move off of him if he ain't put that bullshit in black and white. I'm sorry, bro. Y'all not finna. Y'all could ain't no looking past this shit, bro. I'm sorry. Look at this. From the field, 14%. 14, 21, 25, 27. What I'm gonna do with that negotiation table? What am I gonna do with that as a GM at the negotiation table? I'm trying to get this nigga moved, man. You trying to trade and get valuable pieces back, man. Them numbers ain't worth the Subway sandwich and a chocolate chip cookie, man. And y'all niggas steady trying to defend this nigga, man. Acting like, oh, his general manager, a hoe ass nigga. Man, when we gonna start talking about the nigga on the goddamn court? The same thing with football. You know, I mean, when we gonna start talking about these niggas in the field? The niggas that gotta lace these shoes up. When we gonna start talking about these niggas? This is shit that be killing me. People really gonna say he in the right because Daryl Morey ain't do what he said. Man, well, shit, it'd be a whole lot easier if he ain't had to deal with this shit. Had to explain this bullshit. Even in the Brooklyn series, I'm sorry. Look at this. 23%? 22? I'm sorry, man. Y'all niggas. I tell you what, anybody could defend James Harden and said that Daryl Morey was just so wrong and doing all this boo-hooing and man, I ain't fucking with it. Y'all can miss me with that shit. I swear y'all can miss me with that shit. I swear y'all can miss me with that shit. Because let's just keep it a buck. Daryl Morey never wanted to move off of him in the first place. He never did. I mean, you tell me why Philly shouldn't be a contender in the East. You got an MVP. You got a two-way center. You got Maxey. You got James Harden, that showed that he can still, lead and assist. What, we going to blame it on Tobias Harris? Come on now. Y'all need to stop. No, she ain't acting like no champ. Can't act like no champ. Shit, last time I checked, I ain't seen no ring you put on no finger. I ain't seen no championship ceremony for no James Harden. Last time I checked, Houston still got them same 2 rings. Last time I checked, Brooklyn ain't got no rings. Shit. Philly ain't getting no ring with them. That nigga still trying to get the same treatment he got in Houston. That's why he went with that dude, man. That's why he went running to Daryl Morey. We all seen it coming. This ain't no surprise from this nigga, man. And y'all trying to defend that bullshit. Trying to blame the guy. Man. Man, I don't even look at Embiid and Harden the same type of player. Embiid's numbers have always stood up. I guarantee you, I ain't even gonna let you say that. I guarantee you, Embiid ain't putting up this shit. He ain't putting up this shit. He ain't doing that. I'll defend Joel Embiid in that part. That big ass nigga be crying too, but he ain't putting up this shit. I'm sorry. That shit right there is disgusting. I don't know how he sleep at night after this game, man. 27% in a win to go home game. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I wouldn't be able to lay down and look at my goddamn wife. I couldn't come home and look at my kid in the face if I did that bullshit. Man, I'm finna go pull it up right. I promise you. Hell no. You telling me Joel was doing that? I bet money right now he wasn't doing that. I know he wasn't doing that. You can talk all we want to about Joel Embiid, but I bet money he wasn't doing that. Look at this. I'll go to it right now. And if they both was looking like that, then both of them. And if they both was looking bad, then guess what? They both a bunch of bums. But you know what they gonna say about Joel? Oh, he was coming back from injury. I don't give a damn. If he was, oh my Lord, this shit is even worse. My goodness, this shit was even. Oh my God, these niggas ought to be. Ooh, these niggas ought to be ashamed of themselves. Look at this shit. He ain't do it for many games, but look at this closeout. Look at this, 27%. They both need their ass whooped. He may only did it for one game, but goddamn it, he still did it. It's in black and white. Hell no. Them niggas just watched Jason Tatum running that. Look at this shit. One nigga was at 27.3, other nigga was at 27.8. This shit is disgusting. least Joel, at least he did 44, 47, 42, 43, 40. But goddamn. Both of these. I'm sorry. I understand Joel had that one bad game, but goddamn. That shit is disgusting, bro. That shit's disgusting. And you know what? At the end of the day, this ain't even about Joel. This ain't even about Joel. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even about him. This is, you know what? We can say what we want to. Joel had a bad game, but he ain't come out saying no bullshit. Shit, daddy. As much as you try to defend KD, would have to deal with goddamn me Kyrie and Russ. This nigga done had to go from dealing with Ben Simmons to goddamn dealing with James Harden. Don't sound too much better than me. I don't care. Don't sound too much better than me. That nigga been going through some bullshit too. Shit don't make no goddamn sense, man. Don't make no goddamn sense. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Again, y'all let me know as a GM, how do you defend this? That's all I ask. Don't bring, don't bring, nobody else into it. How do you defend James Harden and his numbers? Because that shit right there, that shit is disgusting. That shit is nasty. Man, I don't even think it was a bad fit. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I mean, if you're gonna do something with him and Joel Embiid, I just don't feel like. I don't feel like they starting five was the best in the world either. That's just me personally. I mean, the fact that you still got Tobias Harris there is kind of still disgusting. Let's just call it what it is. The fact that he is still there is kind of still disgusting. But again, I ain't worried about everybody else. Y'all let me know once again how a general manager that is trying to trade a player and get key assets so you can still contend for a championship, how is he supposed to defend this? Y'all let me know. That's 4 bad games. That's 4 of them. I just don't see how you can defend it. And pretty much every one that you was bad in, you lost. Every one that you was bad in, you lost. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Should pay him out. Should go ahead and trade him, man. Get that nigga out of there, man. But y'all let me know in the comments, man. Who y'all feel like it needs to be taking more responsibility for James Harden not getting moved, for pretty much the Philadelphia 76ers trying to make it work with him. Y'all feel like James Harden need to go ahead and own this up, or y'all side with him and saying that Daryl Morey pretty much didn't keep his end of the bargain when he said that he was going, get him traded, get his contract situation taken care of. But y'all let me know in the comments, man. But that's the end of the show, man. Welcome to not welcome. That's been another episode of the Cold True Podcast. I'm your host, White Boy Chris. Y'all can catch me next week, man, and we out.